And I've seen people who die with a hope in God, and they hold stuff like this. It's just stuff, and they enjoy it because God allowed them to have it. But when it's done, it's not a big deal. I've seen families fight over a few $100 and lose their relationships over it. In my family, when my dad died, it's just stuff. And my sister and I and our kids, we didn't fight over anything because it was just stuff. And in fact, the things that I value most are the things that were just a necktie of his. I mean, probably cost him all $5 because he loved to go to JCPenney outlet on sales. It's no value to anybody, but it just reminds me of my dad. But I hold it like this. If it was to be burned up tomorrow, I have treasure stored up in heaven. And it's not stuff. It's Him. It's Him. Nowadays, when I conduct a funeral, after I've conducted the funeral and family dispersing, if I have time, I'll take a little drive through the cemetery, whether it be over at Sunset or Rolling Hills, or done funerals all over the place. And I'll drive by and I'll stop by Rolling Hills. I'll stop by where Pastor Stewart's buried. I'll walk up and look at his graveside, and I think of the things that he imparted to me, the treasures, not stuff, but wisdom, examples. Matt Piedmont, buried over in Sunset. I know where he's buried. Occasionally after doing a funeral, I'll walk over where he's at. And I remember him saying, learn to put God under obligation. If you do what He says to do, He must do what He said He will do in blessing for you. It's just stuff. My wife bought me a nice car, a convertible car for my 50th birthday. And it's nice, but it's just stuff. If it got in a wreck tomorrow, oh well, got to enjoy it while we had it. It's just stuff. And so I want to encourage you with the words that Jesus said, what does it profit to store up a whole bunch of stuff here that's going to depreciate and deteriorate, that's going to be vulnerable to thieves, it's going to make you proud and insensitive to the poor, it's not going to satisfy your soul, and it's going to all get burned up anyway. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? What will a man give in exchange for his soul? So here's Jesus in that golf cart driving through the center of Hilltop Community Church today. And He's saying, make up your minds. You've got to choose. What is it going to be? The culture of the kingdom of God that's firmly planted in eternity, or the cultures of this world, whether it be Christian or church or whatever culture. And these things are firmly planted in temporary. He says, what's it going to be? What's it going to be for you in 2014? And if you say, okay, Pastor Jim, I think I want to turn a little bit away from earthly treasures this year. I want to learn how to build up heavenly treasures. I want to learn how to improve my heavenly net worth. How do I do that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about next weekend.